Hello, everyone. Welcome to the pre-show of the Code X podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. I'm joined by my co-host today, as usual, Tim Morris.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you. Good for the podcast to be back in action.
That is right, and good to have you back. Yeah,
Yeah.
the show has been taking a break for a week or a couple weeks. With everybody going to Baltimore Con, and then on the September 11th, you were gone. It was me, Uncle Gary. So it's good
Yep.
to have you back, Tim. It's been a while.
Yeah. It's been busy on the Codex end, both in front of and behind the camera.
That is right. But we're gonna make sure we got a great show. For the F list, I made sure to pick out a team of people since it's been gone a couple weeks. But
I'm so
you know,
glad.
yes, for headhunters, we have a random panel of the week.
Yeah.
Someone's a great detective or the world's
Ooh.
best detective. Got a lot of comic book news over the weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, all our works. We talk about like I said, what we've been up to because
Oh,
Codex has
yeah.
been very busy.
Yeah.
But when it gets to the review, it's gonna be something that I got recently.
Oh.
So for the first time on the pre-show, it's mail call
I wish I had a graphic for that.
one day. So what we will be reviewing today is the comic I got the other day and read, Batman Gotham by
Oh,
Gaslight.
so pretty.
There it is.
Hey,
Hey,
Sonny,
what do
we're
you got there?
twins.
There we go. We're comic book twins, Tim. We got that. I know you had wanted me to check it out, and there we go. Now we've
Yes.
gotten to it. Today we will be reviewing it. So I wanted to get it. I knew we were going to review it sometime, so I was on the hunt for it, and I happened to get it with a lot of comics. It was like 15. It came out to like $15, like 10, and
Really
shipping and handling. So I got that in great condition too.
nice.
And in that lot, I also got for the movie Batman Begins. It was a bit of a comic.
Let me bring you front and center there, good
Sure.
sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the little comic that's Batman
Ooh,
Begins.
look at that. I like that.
Yeah, I haven't checked. I haven't opened it to see how it is. And for all you Mutant Ninja Turtles fans, and of course Batman fans, uh, Batman and Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #1.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then some of the old school stuff I was more than fine getting. The Untold Legend of the Batman.
Ooh, that's a nice 80s cover right there. That looks good.
Yeah, you got the Joker saying, like
Yeah.
this book will tell us everything we need to know to know how to defeat the Batman. First issue began a collector's mini series with extra pages and extraordinary excitement. We got
Oh,
some more stuff too. That this on Batman Day. What is it? Batman
oh,
Endgame
nice.
Special Edition #1.
Yeah, that was during New 52.
Yeah, and two more with that same lot, and it was DC Special.
Earth-shattering disasters. That is cool.
Yeah, so that all came together, and then this one too, I was very excited about, and that's
Oh, nice. A Silver Age classic.
yeah, and that is Detective Comics 225, the first appearance of Jean, the Martian Manhunter.
That is
At least that's
cool.
what it says. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of that for $15.
Can't beat it.
And then that day I also happened to get something. I beat somebody in a bet. And what did I want in a bet was if I win, you give me a comic book. I won. So what did I get? On the last episode of the Codex podcast, me and Uncle Gary, we reviewed Pulp and he had it.
Yeah.
But now Uncle Gary is not the only person who has Pulp because I have
Oh,
Pulp.
nice.
Yes. Here it
Nice.
is. And even one thing I liked in the end is that it gives you some news clippings taken
Ooh.
from when the story takes place. So it's very interesting to
Ooh.
learn a bit about history.
Yeah, I missed out on that episode. I want to read it.
You've got to, Tim, do yourself a favor. After this episode, check it out. And I guarantee you're going to message me and be like, I'm glad I got to reading it.
I'm going to put it on my eBay watch list now.
Yeah, and me, I just that the lot of comics I got from eBay, but Pulp I just got from Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's good, Sonny.
Yeah, so I had myself a little bit of a mail call. I'm like, it's been a while since I've done the call on the show, so
We just got a mail call. We just got a mail call.
I'll
Wonder.
let you do that. Well, you can
Yeah.
stick to the song. I'll just yell it.
Ah, that's great.
We'll have to get some of those beginnings in there, you know.
Oh my
You
God.
could sing it, and then I could. It's mail call at the
That's a
end.
one and done, ladies and gentlemen. One and done.
But
I-
it's been recorded. It's live, Tim. If somebody is keeping this right now and they're
like when
reposting it,
like when Sonny or Sal did meow. Yeah, that's
yes,
recorded too.
yes. And I heard that when I heard that before you guys were mentioning it, I happened to when I was watching the episode, I caught that. I caught
Ah,
Sal meowing.
that's beautiful. That's wonderful. I love it. We got a hell of a show tonight, Sonny. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, me too. Like I said, it's been a while, so we're hungry for it. And like I said,
Yeah.
just in general,
Oh,
it's me watching us.
that's not egotistical at all, ladies and gentlemen.
Got to make sure that we don't look and something's messed up there.
Wait a minute, Tim. You got a book hanging.
Yeah,
Here,
something
here.
hanging. One of our screens. Although when we talk, we see each other, but want to make sure that if anybody, the viewers, that nothing's messed up on their
Right.
side.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's why too. Plus, it's the pre-show, so now I can make sure all my phone is, the volume
Turned
is
all the
turned
way down.
down, so we don't hear some 80s hair metal. Like if somebody decides to call me,
80s hair metal is pretty sweet, not gonna lie.
that's my favorite. That is my favorite.
What's your favorite 80s hair metal band?
Oh man. Well, I mean, I have so many because there's some of my favorite bands, but some of the usuals, like Bon Jovi and Poison and them. But
Mhm.
then there are some other bands too that aren't so known, like this band called Bonfire. A band Jamie remembers some of the names of me mentioning. Like there was a band called Sleaze Bees.
Oh my
There was a
God.
band called Shark Island.
Wow. That's deep dive stuff right there.
Oh yeah, all my friends would say, like Sonny knows how to find these unknown '80s hair metal bands. So I know the big ones, and I know the not so big ones too.
Wow. Let's see here. Before you got on today, while I was getting everything set up, I was listening to In Excess,
Nice,
another Australian band.
nice. Yeah, access to good too. Like I said, I said '80s hair metal is my favorite, but I do like other kinds of '80s music, and then too just rock music in
Yep.
general. And then now I've noticed that though I've gotten more like my later 20s and 30s now that I'm more open to listening to other kinds of music as
There you
well.
go.
Always a
Good.
rocker at heart. Yeah. But Tim, yeah, like I said, like, as you were saying, we've got an interesting show
Yeah.
today. Even if we were doing them every week, like we're hungry for this one. We've been gone for a little while, but even if it was a week after week, still the schedule is very good with Batman, Gotham
It's
by
what I look
Gaslight.
forward to every Wednesday.
Same here. And that's it too. We'll be having Variant Insanity.
Mhm.
Yeah, again, and then
Yeah, variant insanity, ladies and gentlemen. That's tonight's gonna could be controversial, depending on who we have in chat.
yeah, so we will see. I'm excited to get to it. Sometimes you never know what's going to happen on the show. Just like, we will be having another random panel of the week. Remember the time when it was you and Uncle Gary, and it was the Deadpool one about using the restroom, and
Oh my
everybody was
God.
jumping on the chat about
Yes.
who takes the biggest dump. So who knows? Maybe Vera Insanity will be the thing that brings on a random conversation this time.
I love our chat. Our chat is amazing.
I do too. Where are you, chat?
They're here. There's people floating around. They'll be getting in soon.
All right, so everyone, welcome to the show. We're in the pre-show, and soon we'll be getting on to the regular show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, lots to talk about. I mean, Coach
yeah.
was in Baltimore. We've got that to go over. If you want to get the full 3-hour version of that, plus all the loot we got, check out this past Saturday's episode of Comics Unleashed. Really cool. Lots of cool stuff. I'll show you a few of the things on tonight's episode, but if you want to see everything, go over there and check it out. But yeah, lots of footage from Baltimore. I'm in the editing process of that video right now. That's
Good luck with a lot of stuff.
well, I've got the first 15 minutes done of a lot of footage. And I got look who is here.
Hello, Chris.
None other than Chris, Mr. Snoop. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, I want to show you guys on the pre-show, and I'll show you again later what I got from Chris. Sonny, you'd be excited about this. So I didn't know this, But our very own Chris in the chat is an author and he's published.
Nice.
So
Congrats, Chris.
take a peek at this, Sonny. I want you to get excited. So this is called Tripping Over Reality: The Death and Origin of a Superhero. And it is a full-length novel.
Awesome.
Yeah, and what's even more awesome is that the man himself signed it for me. Right there.
Terrific. And
But
then you say
that
novel, is it is it like a comic book or
no,
novel?
so it's a novel. It's got
Too
words.
cool, my style. Yeah. It's got
But
words. Okay.
the other cool thing about it is there's little mini prints on the inside of each, and I haven't started reading it yet, but I imagine they are part of the characters that are inside the book.
Cool.
But what's even more cool, Sonny, is there is a book 2 called End of the Line, or Tripping Over Reality 2, A Blaze of Glory.
Nice. I like that cover. That reminds me of a certain
Self-published.
big.
Chris, self-published is published, good sir. You
Yep.
are a published author, and I have it signed right here.
Yeah. And Chris, before I was at a writers conference and I was speaking with an agent before, and they asked me, they said, "Oh, are you published?" And I said, "Oh, no, I just have self-published." And even the agent said, she said, "Oh, if you're self-published, we count that as you're published." So,
You better believe it.
oh,
Yeah,
you did it.
you got a book. All
And Tim,
right.
I do notice a little something different behind you that I haven't seen before. Is that Optimus Prime?
Where? Over here? That
Yeah.
guy?
Trying to think if I've
Yeah.
seen that before on the show.
So that print I got at Nirvana when the artist himself, Andrew Percy, was there for an in-store signing. Super awesome dude. He did, and I have it over here somewhere. I'll have to dig around and find it. But he did the latest Archie comic that came out, like where Archie makes the decision whether it's Betty or Veronica, he chooses. But he did this. This was a cover that he did for a Transformers issue. I love that. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I got this one over here by William Russell, and dude's artwork is equally amazing.
It's very interesting, Tim. Because last week we said, "Oh, it's been a lot for you coming back."
Yeah.
So we weren't able to do a show. But you know what? Then I was talking to my brother, and he's, "Oh, I'm taking my nephew to see Transformers." And I said,
Oh,
"Oh, interesting. So is that why Tim's not able to make the show? Somebody's seen the new Transformers movie."
I haven't seen it yet. I want to. I want to take my kids to see it. I think it's on demand now to buy.
Oh, wow.
I'll get
Fast.
it. I'll get it on physical media. Yeah, but I want to see it. I've heard it's really good.
Yeah. I mean, if you enjoyed it, yeah, he's a big Transformers fan.
Oh
So I
yeah,
was like, so that's where Tim's at.
that's right.
It's at
100%.
the theater.
It is a nice print, Chris, and I got 2 other awesome prints floating around here somewhere that I got from Baltimore that I'll show too. I showed them on Saturday, but I'll show them here tonight.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And Tim, I feel ready. If you're ready.
Sonny, I was born ready.
Tim, I've been missing some groovy bass tones.
Oh, ain't that something? I would love to play some groovy bass tones for you.
Hit it.
Oh, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, stick around. We will be back in 45 seconds after this set of groovy bass tones.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Code X podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. I'm joined by my usual co-host, Tim Morse.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Codex podcast. Let's say hello to chat, Chris.
Yes.
That funky music has been played, and none other than our very own Bougie Huffman. Bougie, how's it going, man?
Hopefully good. And I saw earlier, well, when we were doing the little countdown, that Chris was saying he finally saw Deadpool
Ah,
Wolverine,
yes.
and it's available now on digital to get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you have to purchase it
absolutely.
now. But before you know it, it should be free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to check out, Tim and Wes had a review of Deadpool Wolverine. I thought you guys did a great job of it. So feel free to check that out.
Bougie says, greetings and salutations. Sorry I'm late. Had to show some waffles. What was up? I hope you smothered them waffles in some beautiful syrup and enjoyed every bit of it.
Oh yeah. Me too. And there you go. You missed the pre-show, and if you did, you could always go back and watch it. But on the pre-show, we had a mail call where I showed that I
Mhm.
got some books like Pulp, which me
Yeah.
and Gary reviewed on the last episode of the Codex podcast, and then I had gotten Batman Gotham by Gaslight, which is the story me and Tim will be reviewing today.
That's
See,
right.
Batman
Right
Gotham by
here.
Gaslight. See, Tim's got it. We'll be having someone else join. We'll be having a whole team join the F list since we've been gone a couple weeks. I thought I'd pick out a team, add multiple members to that coveted F list. We'll be having Virulent Insanity, and Tim even said in the pre-show it might get a bit of a conversation started. We'll have to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, I think so. I think it might.
Yeah, with who it is, and of course we'll be having a random panel of the week,
Mhm.
and we will be having our works to talk about because we've been very busy over these past couple weeks, and the world has been very busy with a lot of comic book news.
Yeah.
So I shall start us off with the rundown. We'll start the rundown off with some good news.
Hmm.
Batman becomes the first superhero ever to get the star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. So Batman now has a star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood, and it literally says Batman. Whole little event for it. I know Jim Lee was there, a couple people were there. So Batman got it. He is the first. And maybe, with a lot of the downfall of a lot of these celebrities, maybe we'll see some of their names taken off and we'll see more superheroes get their stars on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. But there was a teaser trailer we saw for Thunderbolts set to come out
Mhm.
this year. The teaser trailer did not give a specific date, but hey, it gave us quite a preview.
Yeah.
Now we get on to some not so good news. And that was, well, some people might be really excited about this. Some people
I know
might not
one
be so
person
excited.
that's not gonna be.
Oh, yes. Then it's Jamie Wojcik. He's not going to be so excited. But there was a rumor that Jared Leto has been asked to play Skeletor in the live-action He-Man and the Masters of the Universe movie. So, what I've seen, most of the comments, most people are on that same boat, and they
Yeah.
seem to be happy if it is Jared Leto who plays Skeletor. But also, there has been sad news, and news that there was the passing of Chris Christopherson, who passed away at
Mhm.
the age of 88. And many knows he had a lot of country music out. He was in the Star is Born remake in the 70s, and for me, I always knew him as Whistler in the Blade movies.
Yeah, me
I
too.
knew him as, yeah. So may Chris Christopherson rest in peace. And also, even in this, I know we're more comic book, but even in the sports world, there's been some big passings. Like
Mhm.
Tumbo passed off, the NBA legend. Also, Pete Rose passed
Yeah.
away, the MLB legend. And then we get to some controversial news, and that is that Neil Gaiman has been in trouble. He's been accused by 5 women.
Mhm.
So he's been in trouble. Yeah, 5 women have been accusing him of sexual misconduct, some saying assault, some saying that it was really rough sex, some saying that they were paid off before. And some of these accusations go back all the way back from 1986, some as recent as 2013. So there's a lot with that. I know his most recent project has been shut down.
Yeah,
What was it?
axed.
Oh, yeah.
It's been cut.
There still hasn't been any saying if the Sandman show will continue. I know he wrote the comic, but I don't know how much he really has to do with the actual show. But
From my understanding, he had quite a bit to do with it. Visual property that is Sandman is owned by Netflix, so I don't think they need him going forward.
yeah, so there is that. So Tim, I know we were just focusing on that one a little bit, but out of the other news, anything you would like to focus on?
Real quick, we can get through this one real fast. Batman with the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I know some people think that that's not that big a deal, but I cool. Who better than
Oh, yeah.
Batman to have that? I think it's awesome. And Jim Lee was there. Yeah, Jim Lee was
Yeah.
there, and a couple other people. I know they asked Ben Affleck to show up, and he declined. That's fine.
He should
Uh,
no longer be Batman. He's done.
yeah, exactly. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was awesome, and it's a really it's exciting. So if you're ever on Hollywood Boulevard and you want to go see Batman's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, go do that. Have fun.
That's
Have
the
a good
one I'll be
time.
looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I'm a fan of a lot of people, but that's when now I'll be like, okay, I gotta look for Batman.
exactly. As far as the other news goes, we'll get to Neil Gaiman in a minute. But I'd really like to put the spotlight on Chris Christopherson. Um, it is a shame. It is a sad day that he's passed. The man was a pioneer in American folk music and outlaw country, as I like to call it, in the late '60s, early '70s, or through the '70s. Dude was amazing. What he did for Sinead O'Connor on Saturday Night Live was fantastic when she protested as she's allowed to do and tore up a picture of the Pope, and people threw a fit, and she walked up there, or he walked up to her, said in her ear, he's like, ignore them, don't worry about them, they don't mean anything. I'm paraphrasing, but what he did was amazing, and
A
him
true
is
act of kindness, and he risked himself getting in trouble.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, 100%. Him and Convoy, Snoop, or yeah, Snoop. I know you said that you loved him in Convoy. He's fantastic in that movie. But what we know him from mostly, my first experience with Chris Christopherson was in Blade as Whistler, and I loved him in that movie. He made that movie as
yeah.
much as Wesley Snipes did. He was absolutely fantastic, and wha- what was it when the girl doctor that Blade brought back to their hideout, he throws her on the table, and Whistler's like, "What the hell are you doing? What are you doing bringing her here? You bring the whole horde right on down on us." And he sticks her with that serum or whatever to try and cure her of the vampirism, and he's like, "It's gonna hurt a lot. Maybe I'll see you in the morning." And I think my favorite part is when he's putting the gas in the car and he's got this cigarette right in his mouth, gas pouring all over the place, sticks a pump in the car, and he's just shooting the shit with Blade talking to him about all that stuff. And oh man, okay.
One of my favorite scenes was in. He had some good insults
Yeah.
too. In Blade 2, he says to Ron Perlman's character, he says, because he always got the light, and Ron
Yeah.
Perlman's like, we're trying to find him, not scare him off. And he says, well, some of us can't see in the dark, and he calls him an effing nipplehead.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
never forget that nipplehead.
Chris, right here, Whistler, catch you fuckers at a bad time. I love that. That's so amazing. Yes, absolutely, 100%. Blade was his best performance, top notch,
My favorite,
hands
yeah.
down. And yeah, and Wesley Snipes' Facebook post to Chris Christopherson said, "Forever your student," and that was amazing. He was amazing, Sal. He
Yeah.
absolutely was, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, rest in peace, Chris Christopherson. Your journey is over, man. The convoy has come to a stop, and the vampires are all gone. Time to rest.
Yeah. And also the actress Maggie Smith passed away too, the Harry Potter
Yeah.
actress. Well, I know she's been in a lot more, but that's what
Yeah.
many people now know. Yeah, she passed away at the age of
Mr.
90.
Potter.
Good, good impersonation, Tim. Hey, they're casting. Hey, there's going to be a new Harry Potter show coming out.
That's true. Yeah.
Go for it, Tim.
No. But yeah. Let's see. What else was there? There was Jared Leto as Skeletor. I
How
mean,
excited are you?
when I think of Skeletor, I think of not a thin, muscular man. I think of an overtly beefy dude that is equal in size and aggression to He-Man. Jared Leto is definitely not that. So we'll see. I know that as of recently, he's been the curse of many movies, especially Morbius. It's Morbid time, ladies and gentlemen. I know
What's
he's going to
Skeletor?
be.
How old is Skeletor? how'd he put that in? For time.
Until next time, villains. Ha 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 ha. But I know he's going to be in the new Tron movie, Tron 3. I'm excited for Tron. He may do good in that. Who knows though? But him as Skeletor, I'll pass.
Yeah, it does seem like because obviously he could act. I mean, Dallas Buyers Club is a movie that he won the award for, and he was terrific in that. But at least it seems like lately, with the Joker and
Yeah.
Morbius, he's had some misses lately.
So with his performance as the Joker in Suicide Squad, that did not bother me. I had problems with it, but his performance was okay. Like I
He's also
see,
directing like they told him be like this, and they gave him a tattoo. So a lot of
yeah,
that, was,
yeah.
more his
I
character
see
doing.
him. I see his version of the Joker as one of many iterations. Right? Is it the best? No. Is it the worst? No. But I thought it was fine.
I think Jamie really liked it. So if
I'm
anybody,
pretty sure he did. I think Morbius is
he
his
has a
favorite
poster.
movie.
He has a poster
I
of
think you bought
Fearless
him a
Joker.
book too, right?
Oh, I got a poster. I had gotten him. I got him that poster.
I remember that. Yeah,
Happy birthday!
he was
It's a
very
true.
happy about that. Like so happy, he had tears of rage and joy.
I know. I told him to make a video. I said when you open it, have a video of you opening it live. I guess he didn't want to show his excitement to the
Right.
world. That's probably why.
Bougie says get a wrestler. I could be down for that. Somebody that can act though. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was hardly in Suicide Squad. That's true. They cut him out of a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jared Leto. I mean, can he nail the part? I mean, if he really tries, but the thing
Yeah.
is, next it also it is with writing, directing. How
Yeah.
are they telling to be?
Yeah.
I would be interested to see though his antics backstage, off camera.
Now,
Because he annoyed a lot of people on the Suicide Squad.
from what I understand, he method acted through the whole damn thing and sent people all kinds of weird things, like sent Margot Robbie a dead rat or
Okay.
something like that. Sent Will Smith some other things too, and yeah, it was just really weird. He took the method acting to a whole nother level. Let's see here. As an FYI, the song Chris Christopherson wrote for Sinead O'Connor was Sister Sinead. That's interesting. I've never heard that song before, so I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
But the last bit of news, Sonny, I think is Neil Gaiman.
Well, there's that, and there's also that Thunderbolts trailer.
Oh,
What do you think of
yes.
that?
I loved it. I'm excited for Thunderbolts. I know some people are not, and screw them. They can go sit in the corner and pout all they want to. I think it looks good. I think it looks amazing.
I think a fun watch. Especially too, like I like the part when they're showing like they're all kind of fighting. I think that'd be one of the best parts, and they're all kind of meeting up. And then so I think
Is
it'll be
that
fun. I'm not expecting it to be this masterpiece.
no?
I think just check it out. A fun movie. That's
Yeah.
that's what I want to see.
In the trailer when they're all in the limousine and they're like, "Is that Bucky?" Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it's just some good fun. Yeah.
Yeah, some callbacks to Winter Soldier and stuff like that. Sal says he's excited for Thunderbolts. Right on, Sal. I'll come up there and we'll go see it together.
And also too, there's a character who says his name is Bob, I believe. And then
The
who they're saying
Sentry.
people are saying who they believe it. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's a Sentry. Yeah.
When I first heard Bob, I was thinking, is that Hydra Bob? And then I was, oh no, wait, I don't think it's Hydra Bob.
Bougie says he loved the OG Thunderbolt series. I've only read part of it. I've got volume 2 over here on my bookshelf, but I want to get volume 1 so I can read it. I want to read Dark Avengers though. Yeah,
and that's on my to read list.
Yeah, and
the collection.
And the rumor they say is that Thunderbolts, the whole reason for the asterisk, excuse me, is that it's going to lead into the creation of Dark Avengers.
Interesting.
So maybe it'll be Thunderbolts for one movie and then everything else is Dark Avengers. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah. So we shall see. Maybe they'll see how popular it is. If it's not popular, like we'll change that name. And if it's really popular, they'll be like, let's
keep it. Let's see what happens. Yeah.
Let's cast Jared Leto in the next one.
Yeah. As Morbius.
Yes.
Hello, fellow Avengers. I am Morbius, the living vampire. No, thank you, dude.
Captain America goes to say Avengers assemble, but Morbius cuts him off and says, "No, I have something better." It's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
All the
Lord.
fun. Now we get to the not so good
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, so Neil Gaiman, in trouble. But there's the accusations of 5 women. Like I said,
Yeah.
there's one I was trying to find it too. The one was saying that there was a phone call. I heard there was a phone call of where he was trying to offer a woman quite a bit of money to be quiet about things. So
Yeah.
we'll see what's going on with it. Yeah, not good.
Well, what are your thoughts on this first, Sonny? How do you feel about this?
It is one of those things where I would like to hear more about it because obviously,
Hmm.
if it's true, obviously it's horrible, and everybody should know not to act like that. And then you wonder because some people are saying, "Oh, is it?" Because
Yeah.
he is saying that none of it is true at all. That anything he's done with any of the women has been consensual. So it's more what I'd like to see more. But nowadays, especially in Hollywood, there's a lot of people going down. Neil Gaiman, it's a horrible thing to even be accused. As I said, especially first of all, you do it, that's the worst. But then
Right.
even to be accused, that alone will always taint him, whether even he
Yeah.
did it or not, because it will
Yeah.
always be out there as he was accused of this. You know?
Hmm. Yep.
So,
Exactly. So here's my thoughts. Separate the man from his work, right? Separate the man from his work. He has put out some of the best comic books in history. Now, I'm not defending him. That's not what I'm doing here. What I'm doing is just separating the man from the work. Sandman Mystery Theater, the work he did on the independent circuit, and all of that stuff. It's phenomenal work. Good Omens, which I have as a novel, was fantastic. The man, however, if what he did comes out to be true, then he deserves what's coming to him, right? He deserves his career being over. He deserves any punishment that comes his way as a result of doing things that he knew he should not have done. Your status does not give you the opportunity to manipulate and hurt people. That's just not how it is. And he's going to lose a lot of fans over this, as he rightfully should, if the allegations are true. However, if the allegations are not true, then he deserves to be vindicated, right? If it's not true. But it'll all come out in the court. It'll all come out in the court of law, and we'll find out from there. I'm not going to pass any judgment until then, but I'm also not going to throw away every piece of work I have by him, because if I can separate the man from his actions. I can separate the man from his work.
yeah.
Cancel culture is a very disgusting thing. It's a lot of people with torches and pitchforks that have no idea why they're shutting somebody down except to shut somebody down. And they don't wait for all the facts to come out. That's called critical thinking, ladies and gentlemen. That's called thinking for yourself. And when we should all really try that, and it'll change the world, I promise. So just be patient. Give it time. Let all this information come out and make your determination when you have all the facts in front of you.
And one thing to keep in mind too, like you said, to separate the man from the work.
Yep.
You know, talent doesn't always equal a good person.
Exactly.
I mean, you could be a good person and talented,
Yeah.
but one thing too to also keep in mind is that it's not just one person who makes, let's say, a book or a movie or
Yeah. It's a
music.
lot of people.
There are multiple people who work on it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
let's say, for instance, say Sandman. Neil Gaiman isn't the only person who made that story happen.
I mean, Motley Crue woke up in a pile of Coke and vodka every day. They were not good people when they were in the 80s at the height of their career. But man, did they put out some awesome albums. I
Mhm.
separate the people from their work. Yeah, bougie, absolutely. Don't jump the gun. That's what a lot of people have a problem with nowadays. Is they're like, what the allegations? He did this, he did that. Fuck him. He's done. Burn him alive at the stake. No, calm down. Wait a minute. But see, when people say that, then you get accused of supporting their actions that they are accused of, that it hasn't even been proven yet. Yeah. People just need to calm down. Just take a breath. Go touch some grass for a minute. Remember, Neil Gaiman don't give a shit about you, so why should you give a shit about him?
Tim, I'm gonna get ready to cancel you with the foul mouth.
Well,
Terrible mouth. Tim the
welcome back
Terrible.
to the Codex Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Tim the Terrible. Oh, good. Glad to have you back. But Tim, as we were saying, it's good to have you back.
Yes.
Because we've been busy for these past few weeks, So that's why I bring us to our works, what we've been up to. Tim, I've been having some of the busiest times of my life with filming. Even there was a time where it was 5 days in a row of all filming the finale of a series about a series. So I've really been focusing on filming that a lot. And then just yesterday, I had an interview with Michael Kingston. He is the author of Headlock Tales from the Road and his upcoming comic book, Vampiro Rockabilly Apocalypse. So I had an interview yesterday. It went really well, really fun. A lot of mixture of comic books and wrestling. And
I was just going to ask you if
coming out soon.
Vampiro is based off of the wrestler.
Oh, So it's with, So he worked. Yeah, he's worked with many wrestlers, huge names in wrestling too.
That's
the
wonderful.
most recent story is with Vampiro. Yes, like the wrestler who is based on the wrestler. So interesting. And then that should be out pretty soon.
Yeah, Chris says I did messed up shit in the 80s and 90s. I am not that same guy. 100%, man. People
change. Yeah. In the 80s,
anyway.
I was not even here.
Yeah, I was a tiny guy in the 80s.
And in the 90s, I was the tiny guy.
I was a mid-sized guy in the 90s. But anyways, more about the review interview.
Yeah. So the interview went great. It was really fun. Not too long and not too short. So I thought it went really well. I was really happy with the way it turned out, and I hope when it comes out, everyone is able to enjoy it. And last week how we weren't here, but I finally, after all the months, I finally finished editing that C2E2 video of me 2024. So that is out there. Check it out. And then, speaking of cons, last week, quite a few members of the Code X station were at Baltimore Con.
Yes.
So Tim, tell us about it. It looked amazing.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, last week was an adventure in and of itself. Hello, Pam. Good to see you. Pam says was driving and listening, so I'm late in saying Dave Bautista as Skeletor would get my vote. Also, hi, Pam.
Hi.
I hope your driving
pick.
Is going well.
Good pick too. I like Dave Bautista.
He'd be amazing as Skeletor. Fantastic. But
he's got the muscle. Oh, sorry about that. He's got the muscle. He's got. I know he's not as big as he was before, but also he has acted, and he can do. How Skeletor does have some comedy to him, and we've seen with Drax that Batista can bring some comedy into film as well. So good.
100%. Yeah, but Baltimore Comic-Con, ladies and gentlemen, what a ride. I am in the middle of editing the video out right now. I'm into the first 15 minutes, and that's when we get to the con. But the 15 minutes before that is equally as important. It's all of us making our way and all that stuff. We got a ton of footage. We did not record Friday or Saturday. We were too busy hanging out and just enjoying the convention. We did do the 2 live shows, the day 1 wrap up, which you can go watch, where you see a lot of us together for the first time. And then you can see the Comic Logic Codex crossover, which Rob from Comic Logic was gracious enough to host us. And it was absolutely fantastic. Got to be in the shop. It was wonderful. But the convention,
quite a huge ending at the end of there.
It was, right? Ladies and
some members of Codex.
Yeah. 2 members of Codex are engaged to be married, and it's not me and Sal. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jamie and Precious, once again, congratulations, guys, on your engagement. Yeah, 100%. It was fantastic, and everybody was there. It was wonderful. But the convention was I have no words. It was amazing. That's the best thing I could say about it. It was a lot of fun. It was very busy. It was huge. That's what she said. But also a lot of cosplays, a lot of cool stuff. Sal and I got a lot of pictures of cosplayers. Got a lot of footage on Sunday. My kids were with me the whole time, and they had a blast. That Sunday night, we went to Gary's place, which is amazing. Got to see the museum, and I got some pictures to show you.
Let's see some of those, Tim.
Yeah, so inside Gary's museum, ladies and gentlemen, Gary was gracious enough to let me and Jamie and Sal, when he was down there, hold some of these key books, these instrumental books in comic book history. And I want to give you a preview of some of that stuff. So let's go ahead and just start right here. That is me. There is Chris right on the other side of me. He was touching my leg, which is why you can't see his hand. That is Amazing Spider-Man number 129. That copy is cherry, ladies and gentlemen. Gary's books are no joke. But yeah, got to do that. Got to hang out with some great people while we were doing that. Let's go on to the next one. This one here is Amazing Spider-Man number 1, and I think the look on my face says it all.
Like a heavy kid, all smiling, face almost red.
I was 10 years old, man, holding those books. This was wonderful. I hold more in my hands in these pictures I'm going to show you than I make in a couple of years. So moving right along, we have the first appearance of Justice League. I was overwhelmed at this point.
I see tears in your eyes.
But getting to see that was amazing. What's next? Showcase number 4, first appearance of the Flash for the Silver Age. That started the Silver Age, and that was wonderful to hold on to as well. Let's see here. Yeah, this is over the course of 2 different days. Good old Sal sitting next to me. Got Amazing Fantasy number 15 there. That book is nice.
It's worth quite a bit, you know.
Yeah, it's worth a buck or two. Then there's Avengers number 1. Got to hold on to that. And Daredevil number 1, one of my favorite characters. Let's see here. Hulk 181, ladies and gentlemen, the first full appearance of Wolverine. But the book that I really wanted to hold is the first appearance of the creation of the world. And that's not that one. That's
X-Men. So
X-Men number 1. But this one here, we all know what that is. That needs no introduction. That's Hulk. Yeah, Hulk 180, ladies and gentlemen. Hulk 180.
Oh, yeah, Tim Hulk 180, the first appearance of everybody and everything.
That is correct. Yes. Chris says we fell in love that day. 100%. Oh my God. Sal says it was awkward. No, it wasn't. It was delicious. That's what it was. Tim is just one of Sal's. Yeah, now it's awkward. Tim is just one of Sal's goomas. Yeah, 100%. 100%, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I am. Sal does not like mushrooms. I learned that very quickly. But yeah, it was great. Baltimore was a ton of fun. I want to do it again next year. I know that Codex is getting together, or at least the plans are in the early stages, talking about doing it again in 2026. I believe. So don't hold me to that, though. But I know plans are in the works to try and make this happen again in 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah. Food's expensive, though.
Yeah.
First Wolverine, Hulk 181. Absolutely. Pam, 100%.
Oh, Tim.
I know. But yeah,
so I'm looking forward to when the video is going to come out.
It'll be out this Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. So you'll be able to check it out. If you're a member of the Codex Station right here on YouTube, you'll get to check it out as soon as it's finished uploading.
Okay, well, nice. Yeah, Tim, so it sounds like you've got quite a bit of work to do.
I got a lot of work to do.
Are you going to be on Count Character of the Week tomorrow or no?
No, I am not going to be on tomorrow. With all this editing and other things going on, I am sorely unprepared. But Sal has given me the pass for tomorrow. But I will be in chat. I'll be hanging out and learning about Warlord with everybody else, and that's one of Gary's favorite characters.
Yeah, I was just say that's who I think of, and I would place money on. I'm gonna guess that it's Uncle Gary who picked Warlord.
Yes, it is 100%. Yeah.
Nice, so cool. And I'm looking forward to that episode too, because I have a Warlord issue, but I don't know much about Warlord, so I look forward to watching the episode.
Oh yeah,
there's best covers, it's the best recommended reading. So
badass moments, what makes it great, what makes it not so great. I like when we get to choose our dream team, creative team to do it. Yeah, I enjoy that.
Yeah. You guys need to pick me to write one of these characters. Pick me. I write a great long shot story.
Done, Sonny. I pick you now. Now we just got to get Marvel involved.
Yes. It should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Sal, slab guy, buddy, make it happen. Yeah.
Sal said,
So,
or Bougie says tomorrow's character is a good one. 100%, dude. 100%.
all right. So we were talking about what we've got going on. So you know, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Uncle Gary's got going on at Comic Logic coming up later this month?
Ah, yes, 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's sponsor for the Code X podcast is none other than Comic Logic. Go ahead and head over there. It's the only comic shop in Loudoun County, Virginia, in Ashburn, right there. There's the address. I've been there. It's absolutely fantastic and amazing. Rob and the rest of his crew have a wonderful shop that you will not be disappointed in. And another thing that you won't be disappointed in is they've got something pretty cool coming up in the fall. This month, as a matter of fact, called Fall Lock Con. That is Sunday, October 27th from noon until 4 p.m. I know they're going to be doing trunk or treats. A lot of people are going to be dressing up. Gary's going to be there. Sal and Dan will most likely show up. Rob and the rest of the Comic Logic team are going to be there. And I've heard that there's going to be somebody in the parking lot doing tattoos as well. So there's all kinds of cool stuff. Definitely head over and check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday, October 27th from noon to 4. It is for the entire family. You guys will not be disappointed.
If you get a Code X tattoo, we will show it on the show. We will definitely show that.
We'll see. A lot can happen between now and the day Needle pokes my arm with ink. We'll see.
I see the comments. Yeah, a lot of people in the comments pretty excited about the Warlord episode.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
Keith,
Just joining us, Mr. Keith. Hey.
good to see you. Let's see here. We'll do some comments, but we'll talk to chat for a second.
Yeah, before we get to some insanity.
Let's see here. Bougie says Warlord was a pretty good original sword and sorcery story. 100%. Chris agrees with that. Absolutely. Yeah. So Warlord, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. right here on the Codex Station with Sal, Dan, and Uncle Gary himself. You guys will not be disappointed.
All right.
Chris, Jesus, man. Right on the old stink eye, right on the chocolate starfish.
Well, we've got some insanity going on in the comments. So that brings us to our next segment of Variant Insanity.
Variant Insanity. Hang on 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, and you'll get to check out this awesome intro. I love that.
Same here. Okay, so would anybody like to guess? Everybody in the comments. Me and Tim both already know this.
Yes.
Now we know you know this since you provide us with the information. What was the comic book this week that had the most variants?
Chat, do you know? Go ahead and throw it out there. We'll give you about 30 seconds before we give you the answer.
30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24.
Too fast, Sonny. Too fast.
20, 19,
too slow.
16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It is time for the reveal. All right. So this week's Variant Insanity, Sonny, I'm going to throw it up. Why don't you go ahead and give us the info on this book?
I will, good sir. It is Barbarella, Volume 3, Issue number 1. And would anybody like to take a guess as to how many variants Barbarella has this week?
Yeah, I know that answer too. Why don't you go ahead and throw that out there, Sonny?
Okay, everybody, this week, Barbarella Volume 3, issue number 1, is a total of 20 variants. So that is the record
Golly.
for this week. That is the most. Then there are some other ones. Fairy Tale Team Up, Robin Hood and Mystery, number 1, had 12 variants. And Storm, Volume 5, issue number 1, had 12 variants as well. And then Hyde Street, number 1, had 7 variants.
Wow.
But Barbarella remains the queen of this week with 20 variants.
I'm sure this book, I know it says rated T for teen on Dynamite's website, but I'm pretty sure it'll follow along the lines of a movie that came out in the late 60s. So,
Yeah.
why? That's a
Tim
good
knew,
question,
Tim knew
Quit.
not everyone would like it.
Yeah.
You did say not everyone was going to like it.
Yeah.
I do wonder how some of those other variants look. I haven't seen. I've only seen that issue today.
So I've seen a few of them. I know Art Germ did one. I know there is a photo cover of a very nice looking lady, and then some other equally awesome artwork and stuff like that. Yeah, it's worth checking out. I don't know if I'll pick it up, but the covers look cool.
Cool. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Sure, had some good covers, even if not everybody's too happy about it. But Tim, you knew.
Yep, I knew that was coming.
Yeah, but hey, well, there we go. That is the one that this week has the most variants. It is Barbarella with 20 variant issues. So who's going to have all 20, right?
Sal.
So he's getting them slabbed as we speak.
That's right, 100%.
And let's see what we've got going on in the comments.
Let's see here. Snoop says, "Good question."
That's why, yeah. Why?
Chris says one of those variants has Barbarella stabbing a Vietnam POW with an NVC bayonet. Yeah.
I hope not.
No. Pam says that's really neat. Love the movie. Hanoi Jane, she gets no love on this side of the Codex aisle. Yeah, for if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, go look it up. There's a lot of information about why she is hated amongst a lot of veterans, especially Vietnam veterans. Thankfully, yeah, thankfully, the comic book I don't think is going to use Jane Fonda's likeness. I know it is on some of the covers, but beyond that, I don't think so. I don't think.
Hey, you got plenty of other covers to get if you don't want that one.
Yeah.
And what, how we were just saying earlier, Tim, when we were seeing with Neil Gaiman, when it isn't just one person who works on something. So let's say someone doesn't care for Hanoi Jane, you can still enjoy the movie. I know obviously she's Barbarella, but there are plenty of people who worked on that movie as well. Same thing with this comic book. That
spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, she's naked in it. So there you go.
But I don't think in the comic book though, right? If it's teen,
I don't think so. I know that Rose McGowan was going to star in a Barbarella movie, and Robert Rodriguez, they were dating or married at the time, was going to direct. But that
does she gonna have a gun leg again?
I don't think so. I separate too, Pam. Yeah, you can separate the person from the work, 100%. Too. Chris was joking. Yeah, we know you are, Chris. No worries here, man.
Yeah, people with some very open, wild humor here, so we're all good.
Yeah, I love our chat, 100%.
Yes, something tells me that Barbarella won't be winning on the variants too often lately. Because this is an issue number 1. I don't see, unless it's Thundercats. Thundercats seems to be the comic that tends to.
How many did that have again? Do you
Quite
remember?
A bit, multiple times. It
was a lot. Yeah, I think 2 or 3 times it's been on the variant.
26, 35.
Yeah. All right.
But let's get on to our random panel of the week, and this goes on with this has to deal with somebody who we're reviewing today who got a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So let's.
Snoop made you do it, bougie, 100%. Random
let's go with the random panel of the week.
Yeah, here we go.
Boom, there you go. Batman says you're pregnant, and Harley Quinn says world's greatest detective. As you can see, she's clearly pregnant.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
And then normally in the comic, he came and saw her from behind, and then she turned around like
Yeah.
that, but still, you're pregnant, and world's greatest detective, as she looks like
Who'd
she's
have
ready to
known?
pop.
Who'd have
Yeah.
known? I just thought it was a food baby.
Hey, sometimes if you're like me and you love that ice cream and you gotta have it
I
multiple
guess.
times every day, even if it's negative 49
Mm.
degrees. And I am speaking from personal experience. My time in Wisconsin, there were some of those negative days, but I still had to have that ice cream. So that's
Right.
where I get my little stomach, not a big one.
My daughter's lactose intolerant. She says she's not, but she is. So
Oh
she can't be eating none of that.
man,
She'll get the bubbly guts. Hi,
maybe
Graceland.
brownies,
Love you.
brownies. Maybe Grayson, we can get you maybe some brownies or something.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what's actually good for making brownies before? And we're getting a little off topic. Now we're getting to brownies. Zucchini you could use to make brownies.
I've never had brownies with zucchini in it.
I have. At first, I was like, really? They're actually very good.
Okay.
So there you go.
That's fair.
See, I know about the sweets.
All right. Speaking of sweetness, Sonny, what is next on our docket?
Oh, well, it is the F list. And today it's time to get with multiple F listers. So
All right.
today, joining the F list are headhunters.
Let me find the best picture of them. Here you go.
That thing's really good. But there we go. Hunters. And as you see, their coach is saying, they're lean, they're mean, and they're fully trademarked.
Oh,
Me and Flinch and Hans and Bullet and Kabuki back. We're back in the game. And there you
wow.
go. You see them with their cheap outfits, super huge. They each have HH on it. And there's NFL Super Pro pulling one of them out as he says, I'm digging up one last statistic for the game summary.
Oh my God. They got their own blimp and everything.
Yes, there they are with their blimp. Yeah, and then there's one as he goes as he goes to get one of the Chicago Bears players, and my specialty is rushing the quarterback with 2,000 volts.
This is terrible.
And there's one. Do you notice what this guy says as he hits NFL Super Pro off of the blimp? He says, "Hasta la bye bye, rookie."
Oh my God. Oh my
And there's the
God.
whole big blimp. We see with the van attached to it.
Wow.
And more like they're in the van and they have the blimp attached to it.
I love what he says. Family history is fascinating, but right now you've got more pressing problems. The blimp. What are they doing? Offhand. Oh my God.
There's
Look
a
at
bunch
this.
of them. Yeah.
This is terrible. Sonny. What did Dan say? He said
Yeah,
Super
Dan, so
Pro.
you could always count on NFL Super Pro to give you lame characters, and that is right. You need to
Oh
find
my
lame characters.
God.
Look at NFL Super Pro, any of his comic books.
Each issue was a travesty.
And then he himself is one of the top left listers,
Oh my
NFL
God.
Pro. But yeah, so today, like I said, the Headhunters, Hans, Flinch, Bullet, Kabuki Bach, and of course the coach.
Yeah.
So Tim, would you like any guess about the history of the Headhunters?
So, yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. So, their coach, was a construction worker one day, and he was helping to build an NFL stadium when he unearthed a fencing outfit that had been buried there 6 months prior, because a previous fencer had just been disgusted with the sport. Well, that has nothing to do with anything because all his other construction workers there, let's see here, Flinch, Hans, Bullet, Kabuki back, all of them, they were dissatisfied with the way that their lunches were made. So they chose to destroy company property and make these football pads here look very dangerous and sharp, totally against OSHA violations, by the way. And they called themselves the Headhunters only because they did not hunt heads, and they went after heads of lettuce instead. Flinch is named as a result of his ability to flinch constantly when someone gets him for flinching. Pop, pop, to flinching. Hans, he is a Brunschwager fanatic. If you don't know what Brunschwager is, it's a liver paste. He loves that on crackers and Ritz. Bullet, it gets the nickname for it's kind of a mockery for being slow and not agile. So they called him Bullet as a joke. Kabuki back. He said, "Give me my Kabuki back," and they were like, "That's a great name." And then me, the coach, down there at the bottom, where he's saying they're malcontents, rough tacklers, and dirty players that were too nasty for the NFL. Well, he's a liar because they were never in the NFL. They were just construction workers that made minimum wage. And that's the Headhunters, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Tim, you're right. They weren't in the NFL. I like that. Give me my Kabuki back. Great name. That's probably how they really came up with that name. But yes,
I hope so,
an
Sal. I hope
announcement by
so.
Sale. Sale says NFL Super Pro will be on Comic Character of the Week on Thanksgiving. All right. You guys call it. Have fun.
We'll be off that episode, so there you go. But anyways, I hope I'm close, Sonny. I hope I'm close.
Probably, as we said, because we're only in this one issue, and that issue is NFL Super Pro issue number 5 with the writer of Buzz Dixon. Penciler was Jose Delbo. The inker was Mike DiCarlo. Okay, and so here's what's going on. The Headhunters, as we know, as we've just said their names, Hans, Lynch, Bullet, Kabuki back, and the coach. They are taking NFL players, right? They take Lawrence Taylor, and yeah, he suddenly just falls into the ground, gets pulled underground. So Phil Graydon, NFL Super Pro, goes and looks for them, and then there's a fight. Eventually, he figures it out. There's that team of those, the bad guys, the headhunters.
I'm busy listening to you. I'm not doing my job.
Hey, no problem. Don't worry, your story is much more interesting than the actual story is, Tim. So as you see here, right there, they are with the blimp. So they beat up NFL Super Pro when he tries to save Lawrence Taylor, and then he's trying to figure out who they're going to go after next, and it's the Bears player Ron Macedon. So that's one right there. Would you go to the one right before this?
Which one? I don't think they're in order.
Okay. Well,
This one?
as you see, one of the other ones.
This one?
And
Well,
no,
how
probably the
about
last one that shows up.
this one?
Yeah, that's near the end. So NFL Super Pro, he gets beat by them. He eventually figures out, okay, they're after NFL players. Again, that's the whole blimp thing happens, the whole fight. There we go. We see him get zapped in one. There we go. There's when the guy he gets Ron Macedon.
Yeah.
But then, so NFL Super Pro follows him. He finds out that the coach, he's making a new team, and everybody's got to play his team. Remember, they were kicked out for being so nasty.
Right.
And then
tumblers, roughhousers.
Yeah, so NFL Super Pro says, okay, we'll play a game. And the game, it isn't even like a regular football game because they literally just jump. Like 3 of them just jump NFL Super Pro, punching him, kicking him, and everything. He's like,
And then
oh,
that
3-on-1. But eventually he fights back. And as we can see from this picture, he starts messing them up.
Yeah.
They start running, but Kabuki back gets tackled. Oh, yeah. Before, I believe it was Kabuki back who throws a football at NFL Super Pro, but it's actually a bomb and it blows him up just to do a little bit of damage.
What do you know?
But eventually, NFL Super Pro is beating them up. When he takes down Kabuki back, he finds out that it's a woman named Mercy Sutter. She's actually the daughter of Buck Sutter, who is the coach. Oh, how could you work with him? But they capture everybody, and except for the coach and his daughter, they do get away. But like that picture of the one who's, in the ground, butt up in the air, the others, they did get caught. So NFL Super Pro did catch them, and then the coach leaves, and he was saying, "Oh, don't worry, I got plenty of other players in my reserve to bring out to his next team. And still to this day, over 30 years later, he's looking for those reserve players because
He's still trying to find
gone.
what can't be found.
That's right. They were all defeated by NFL Super Pro, but the coach and his daughter left. They got away. They were never caught, but they're still looking for their team of reserves and probably just being horrible characters somewhere in the comic book world. They may have escaped NFL Super Pro, but I say the coach and Kabuki back and Bullet and Flinch and Hans, the headhunters, I say they all stay in the F list.
Oh,
Just like NFL Super Pro.
100%.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting out of it.
Oh, so one more time, Sonny, you cut out there.
You know what? And on my part, you were cutting out, so I'm not too sure. But
Oh.
either way, headhunters staying in the F list for me. And I think everyone could agree with that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, they're not going out. They cannot tackle their way out of this mess anytime in the future or ever.
No. And the interesting thing is they didn't even like tackle anybody. The whole time they'd play, it was just throwing punches and kicks completely out of bounds and throwing bomb football. So yeah, they don't even know. Maybe in the F list, they will learn how to play football one day. Maybe that's why they didn't make the NFL, because they don't know how to play the game of football.
My God.
And even with a bunch of their weapons, they don't know really how to win fights because NFL Super Pro was beating them all up.
Right, exactly. Good for you, Super Pro. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you for saving those football players and scaring off some of the headhunters.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So like I think like Dan said earlier today, you could always look at NFL Super Pro to find lame characters.
Yep, 100%. All the way.
But you know what, Tim? You know it doesn't really have lame characters.
What's
and
that?
that is the story that we are set to review. And that's I didn't mean to make it that loud, but
Like opening a Christmas present.
yes. Oh yeah, this story.
Oh.
Batman Gotham.
I like it.
I think it's time that we get to reviewing this story, Tim.
Yes, I'm excited.
Okay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Batman Gotham by Gaslight is Sonny. What did we learn today about the history of this book? What is it?
It's considered the first Elseworlds story.
That is correct. The first Elseworlds story started a whole line of great stories, some not so great, but this one, we'll get to that in a minute. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, written by Brian Augustin, pencils by Mike Mignola, inks by P. Craig Russell, colors by David Hornung, letters by John Workman, and a cover by Mike Mignola and Elizabeth Chadwick.
Okay, so here we go. This story was made in 1989, but we go 100 years before that. We are in the year of 1889. We still have Batman, we still have Jim Gordon, but obviously things are different. It's 1889, and there was a serial killer on the loose, Jack the Ripper. All right, so Jack the Ripper goes from London to the U.S., goes to Gotham. All right, and Bruce Wayne had been spending some time in London, and he goes to Gotham, but he also runs into Jacob Packer, who he calls Uncle Jake. They chat a bit on their boat ride off to the U.S., and even we see that Jake, his Uncle Jake, it's a bit of a womanizer. It kind of seems the way he kind of comments to women, and even Bruce says he always knows how to have a party. He knows how to have a good time. He's like, but I really wonder how he would be with polite society, how my parents and him were, because he is older. He is the age of Batman's parents. And yes, like regular stories, Bruce Wayne's parents were killed when he was younger, but this one obviously happens a little bit different because this is 1889. But Batman, Bruce Wayne still returns. He returns to the Wayne Manor. He still has Alfred, and he is Batman, and he stops a robbery. And then people see this, and then they're saying, a Batman, the Batman. So you see the newspaper clippings, and it looks like a bat in the sky. But at the same time, throughout the story, we're seeing Jack the Ripper, and he's killing women, and he's saying that he always hears like a laugh. He always thinks that there's a woman that I can't shut her up, and then he's killing more people. But Batman is after this. Batman goes after Jack the Ripper, and eventually Jack the Ripper does get away, and then Batman gets a surprise when Jim Gordon has to show up with Tolliver, and they arrest Batman. They find something in his home. They find a knife, and there we go. Yeah. And what happens? Batman gets arrested. He's going to court, and Bruce Wayne is he's very confident. Even when they're at his home, he was sitting there having lunch or having breakfast, and there we go. Bruce Wayne thinks nothing's gonna happen. He's like, they have no case, and right after he says they don't have a case, Bruce Wayne is found guilty, and he is
Yeah.
sentenced to hang.
Yeah.
But that's where I will stop my bit of a run through. Check it
Interesting.
out. There's still more to the stories. You see, Tim is ready to read this right now.
Oh, I'm showing some beautiful Magnolia artwork, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. So, you know what? I will get to that artwork first. Mike Magnolia, his artwork, some stories I feel it goes good with, like Wolverine the Jungle Adventure. Some stories, sometimes not. His artwork has kind of been, I think it really depends on the story. There was an X-Force story that I didn't really felt it went with. Like I said, there was a Wolverine one I did felt it really went well with. This story, I think his artwork goes perfect with. I think just the way the fitting, how it goes, how the dark theme of the story, how it takes place in 1889. I think it went perfect for the story. I like the writing. It's like I said, I gotta give it some legacy points because it's the first Elseworld story, and it's from there has how many Elseworld stories have we gotten, and some amazing ones. So this one alone
We've reviewed a few on here too.
Yeah, we have. So this is like I said, this is where it begins. And so it is a great story. Original. I like that it's an Elseworld story. It's Batman in 1889. It's Batman taking on Jack the Ripper. One thing is I was hoping for a bigger ending. I don't want to give away who Jack the Ripper is, but there was somebody I was hoping for. There was somebody who at one point Jim Gordon shows a picture of a certain smiling a certain character who's smiling and has quite a sinister style or quite a sinister smile. I'm like, I think that's who it is. I was wrong. I'm okay with being wrong, but I was a little disappointed with the ending. I wanted something bigger. I was hoping it would have been somebody else. But overall, this is a terrific story. Like I said, this is a must read. This is the first Elseworld story, and even if you didn't know that, I think you'll still enjoy it. I think it's a great story. Like I said, I feel the artwork goes perfect with it. I think the writing is great. For me, it's a terrific story. I was a bit disappointed with the end, but like I said, overall, it's terrific. A great read. I look forward to checking it out again. I, Sonny Kruger on the Codex Podcast with the Codex Station, give Batman Gotham by Gaslight 9 out of 10.
Ooh, 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. I think it's a terrific story, Tim. I'm glad you recommended it. I'm glad we got to it.
Yeah.
So now I know you've been excited. What is your thoughts on this story?
So, Pam, it's been a long time since you've read it, but you remember liking it. Well, this book, it's been on our docket for a little bit, and what a perfect way to start spooky season than with Batman going after Jack the Ripper. Dive into it again. You'll love it. Wes says it sounds interesting. Wes, it is interesting. I've got a copy right here for you to read, so as soon as you come over, I'll hand it to you. And Bougie here says Batman is great for this kind of setting. Oh, 100%, dude. So, in my opinion, this is one of the classic Batman stories. Not only is it the first Elseworld story, right? Unofficially, but officially, the first Elseworld story. But this is the type of work that Magnolia thrives in, this dark gothic type of texture, and it's really, really amazing. This here is what Elseworlds is all about. This is the ultimate what if for Batman. It is set 100 years in the past in a post-industrial Gotham City, right during the Industrial Revolution. It's absolutely wonderful. Magnolia crafts a visual story that is unlike anything we've seen up to this point for a what if for DC and just a Batman story in general. And what a way to start, right? Gotham by Gaslight. Absolutely fantastic. It's fresh, it's original, but with all the classic bits that we love. So there's that kind of wink and nod and to Joker in there, and you've got Jim Gordon, you've got Batman, you've got the classic origin story of how his parents were killed. I mean, it's a different take, but it's still cool. And then Batman leaving the United States and coming back, trained, different, better, ready to confront Gotham City and all its atrocities as the Batman. Magnolia's artwork, like I said before, I can't talk about it enough. It is perfect here. It is 100% perfect. This is pre-Hellboy. So he's knee deep in a lot of the big two story stuff, a lot of DC, a lot of Marvel. This is one of the key storylines for visual representation that he's done. My dog even agrees. But Brian Augustine's script is incredibly engaging from start to finish. It does not read like a late 80s, early 90s comic book. It reads more like a genuine story with the beginning, middle, and ending arcs. And it just overall keeps you engaged from the first page to the last page. I loved every minute of this. So this is a no-brainer for me. This just flat out writing and artwork get a complete 10 out of 10. I love this story. I recommend this story. It's a great story to read at night. It's a great story to read when the leaves are changing, when spooky season comes around. This story is absolutely fantastic, and you will not be disappointed with this at all. Chris says it does work with the idea that a lot of people believe that Jack the Ripper quit killing in Whitechapel and started again as H.H. Holmes in America at his murder castle. 100%, dude.
They
And
mentioned quite a few of the different takes on the theories of who Jack the
yeah,
Ripper was. They did mention that. Yeah.
exactly. And Bougie says it is spot on for Magnolia as well. I agree 100%. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Definitely check this out. You guys will not be disappointed.
And one thing too, also that yeah. So obviously from us, we believe it is terrific, and you should check it out.
Yeah.
Some more points I give to this story was that back in the day there was a little bit of a funny part when Bruce Wayne was at a party and he goes to introduce a woman and he says, "Oh, this is Madeline." And she's like, "Gwendolyn."
Yeah.
We're getting
Oh,
the
yeah.
name wrong. I like that part.
Yeah.
And then there was a bit of a mention of when they were saying, Batman, oh, is it like a bat? And like, oh, is he some kind of Nosferatu?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, I know the movie Nosferatu wasn't out yet because this is the 1800s, even though
But
Nosferatu
the
is about 100 years
legends and
old.
stories of vampires were very prominent in Europe at
Yeah.
this time.
Yes. So I even did some research. I'm like, when was the term Nosferatu first used? And it was used before 1889. It was done in 1885. So the term was
Yeah.
still around. So good research there. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my research, make sure they
No.
got it right. So some cool
Yeah.
things. Yeah. You could tell that that Brian definitely did his research on what was going on at the times. So I did like that.
100%. Yeah. So, Sonny, you give this a 9 out of 10. I give this a 10 out of 10. I think it's safe to say that this is highly recommended.
Definitely. Everyone check out Batman Gotham by Gaslight. And yeah, it's about 50 pages and it's a quick read. It did go by fast. So do yourself a favor and check it out.
Yeah. Pam says here, DC's late 80s, early 90s storytelling really was so much better than Marvel at the time. I agree 100%. Marvel was way behind DC as far as storytelling goes at this time.
I may have to think. There's a few. I like some, so I don't know.
Marvel
I have to
had
see
some
stories.
outliers, but in the 80s, DC had Crisis on Infinite Earths. They had Batman Year One, The Dark Knight Returns, tons of other stories that were going on at the time. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So maybe we'll have to have one of those 10 things when we remember we haven't had those in a while with the 10 and 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty interesting one. I like before when Dan was saying when he picked out 1986 for the year.
There you go.
Yeah, when there was a lot of Marvel and DC. Yeah, and you know what? Next week we should jump back on that. We will have more of those. We will come back to right or wrong again. So this week we've been gone for a couple weeks, so now we're back to the usual schedule, back to things the usual way.
Yeah.
But there is a lot to come on the Code X podcast. Of course, things coming all the time on the Code X station. But for here on the Code X podcast, I can say that next week it will be me, Tim, and Uncle Gary, and we will be reviewing Wolverine, Law of the Jungle.
I just so happen to have that right here.
And there we go. That is Wolverine Volume 2, issues 181 to 186.
Ah, yes. And you
Then
can thank Gary for turning me on to this.
nice, a good story. Wolverine taking on the mob. We'll get on to that next week. And then the following week, which would be on October 16th, it's
Mm-hmm.
considered Boss's Day. So, okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay. But on October 16th, when sale is on with me and Tim,
Yeah.
we will be reviewing X-Men Days of Future Past.
Another
And then
classic.
1 week after that, on October 23rd, it's my pick for a story arc. So I pick, in the spirit of spooky season, Rise of the Midnight Suns. There's what I pick. Could you?
Ooh, very nice.
So that is my pick. And then on October 30th, Dan will be back, and Dan has chosen Batman: The Long Halloween.
God, we have got so many good stories. I'm putting that in the calendar right now. Rise of the Midnight Suns.
So we've got
Absolutely fantastic. Lots of
fun
good
times
stuff.
ahead. Yeah, fun times ahead
Cool.
for spooky season.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Can't wait. Get scared, ladies and gentlemen. Get scared.
Yeah, so before we end it off, maybe we'll look at the comments one more time before we say goodbye to everyone.
Yep. Chris says here DC was aiming for a more mature audience at the time. They did some more historical comic events. Agreed. Let's see. Bougie asks, is anyone doing a Mr. Monster book for Halloween? No, I don't think so. But throw in the chat real quick what the if the title is Mr. Monster. We'll check it out.
Yeah, because even if we're not checking out stuff on the show, we still just always love to read comics, and sometimes
Oh
we get
yeah,
them
and we'll
later.
talk about it. Pam says Days of Future Past is one of the best comic stories ever told, 100%, and in 2 issues. Chris
Yeah.
says the Schlong Halloween.
Yeah. And Bucci said nice. Also had said nice choice for me. So thank you. Yeah, and DK
yeah.
too. Yeah. Okay, so some good stuff coming along for everybody this spooky season. So
Yeah, we
Tim,
got a lot of
yeah, we've
stuff.
got a lot coming up for everybody.
Yep.
So check us out. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and if you already are, always make sure to check us out. And now I can let Tim get to the business before we end it off. You can tell us that we're on all the socials.
Yeah, there you go. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got something for you. We want to give it to you. Sonny, do you know what that is?
The socials. We've all got the socials at the Code X Station.
There you go. At the Codex Station, ladies and gentlemen, your favorite social media platforms and where we're live streaming right now. Please make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe, and or follow so you don't miss content like this all the time, every time. Once again, at the Codex Station. And also, don't forget to head over to thecodexstation.com to get the merch, the team, and so much more. Once again, thecodexstation.com, your favorite website on the interwebs, ladies and gentlemen. And as Gary says, let's go ahead and give a shout out to none other than Comic Character of the Day, where all of us got our introductions to each other from. I'm on there checking stuff out. Sonny's in there from time to time. Gary does the cover of the day. Dan does the question of the week, random panel of the day, all kinds of cool stuff. And Archduke Kevy definitely created a fantastic space on Facebook for you to go
Yes,
and
he did.
enjoy random comic book characters and beautiful conversation. All right, and let's not forget our sponsor tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Head over to Comic Logic in Ashburn, Virginia, right there in the shopping plaza. Can't miss it. They got the Fall LotCon coming October 27th from noon to 4. Several members of Codex will be there. Rob, Gary, the rest of the Comic Logic crew will be there as well. And they would love to shake your hand and say hello to you. So once again, Comic Logic, thank you very much for your sponsorship for the entire month of October, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Once again, Sonny, any last words before we get out of here?
Bougie said, don't give it to us in a Diddy kind of way, please.
Ah,
We promise we won't.
oh
No
my
baby oil
God.
here. We're behaved.
100%, ladies and gentlemen. We bought out all of Costco's baby oil, so Diddy couldn't have any. Once again,
Superheroes like that.
exactly. The world needs heroes, and we are that. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim the Terrible. This beautiful man over here is Sonno the Writer, Sonny Kruger. This is the Codex Podcast right here on the Codex Station, and we will see you next time. I love you, Sonny.
Love you too.
I love you so much. I dream of you every night on a pillow made of